and welcome to another episode of Hotspot. On tonight's show, the Australian Federal Police, in partnership with the Royal PNG Constabulary, have teamed up and have conducted an awareness program for schools in Port Moresby. We continue our hot topic on violence in sports. We profile Taiva Lavai, a former Kurakum, for our athletes profile. And as always, we wrap up the show with our weekend draws. For now, we head straight to cricket, with Pacific MMI coming on board to support our Lewas in their 2014 ICC East Asia Pacific T20 Women's World Cup qualifier in Japan. Despite the absence of big-name players as Noma Ovasuru, Kaya Arua, Ravini Owa and Koneo Owala, the 6 debutants rose up determined to take out the title and secure a spot in the Women's T20 World Cup.
Let's go.
Consisting of debutantes Elizabeth Owa, Seilosi Ambo, Sibona Jimmy, Helen Buruka, Kila Frank and Pipi Siake, the Pacific MMI Lewas are set to take on the ICC East Asia Pacific T20 Cup qualifiers in Japan. Determined for qualification, our Lewas braved encounters by Cook Islands, Vanuatu and Cricket Without Boundaries, an exhibition team from Australia. Nearing the end with their round-robin matches, our Lewas toppled Samoa, having a genuine pool of talent in hand to progress on to the finals to face host Japan.
We're very happy with the result. We were hungry for a win. We needed to win this game, yeah.
Sano City witnessed a rematch of the 2012 Super Over Classic when our Lewas took on Japan in the finals of the East Asia Pacific T20 Cup qualifier. Winning the toss and opting to bat first, Lewas got off to a shaky start. The batting combination between Captain Pauke Siaka and Tanya Ruma added 47 runs and pushed the Lewas 3 out for 113 runs. Japan looked to threaten as Emma Kuribayashi took the pitch, but only to be sent off back to the sheds. The Kubato-Lano partnership on the bats contributed 56 runs, but fell short by 11 runs. Lewa's exceptional fielding and batting has earned them the 2014 East Asia Pacific T20 Cup.
It's a great performance for PNG Lewas because we got some very young girls who are 16, 17 and the youngest is 15. And they went out there and played the very experienced side. The Japanese are quite fast. They're very experienced players.
The Lewas returned with their spoils to an overwhelming reception in Port Moresby.
And Cricket PNG is obviously very happy with where the girls are, as long as Pacific MMI is also quite pleased. It's a big family affair, as you can understand, cricket being a family sport, and for the girls to achieve what they've done at the moment, they've just edged ahead of the boys, haven't they?
Yes.
And they will be back at training to prepare for the Women's T20 Cricket World Cup in 2016.
Let's go.
Congratulations to our Lewas, and we wish them all the best in their preparations towards the 2016 Women's T20 World Cup. We'll go for our first break for the evening, and on the other side, we continue our hot topic on violence in sports. If you've just joined us, you're watching Hotspot. Last week we had former Wallaby Brandon Cannon on violence in sports.
A judiciary system that respects and protects all of its participants, and that includes match officials, coaches, the support staff. So you can't treat anyone, in any other way than how you would treat someone in normal society. I think we all, when we're young, have a bit of a reckless approach to life. We sort of don't fear of consequence. We sort of just want to live and do what we want to do whenever we want to do it. And it's only when you've done something that gets pulled up or stopped, or you might get sent off in a game, then you sit back and you reflect and you think, oh, I've done the wrong thing here, I've done a bad thing. A lot of people don't truly appreciate until it's happened the magnitude or the flow on or the ripple effect of doing a bad act on a sporting field. You let your teammates down, you lose their trust, you lose your coach's faith in you as a player, you let your supporters down, you let the people that spend hard money as sponsors to sponsor the team, you let them down, you let all the people that come and watch the team, that pay money to come and watch the game, and you let the general sport down by being a bad person and not having controlled discipline. So you don't really appreciate the magnitude of all of that until you sit back and reflect upon it, and then you carry a pretty heavy burden.
Tonight, Lauren joins us once again with Ashlyn Chu.
Are you talking about violence in sports in particular, right?
Yes.
I honestly feel like there's no room for it, and to be honest with you, just recently, there was an incident down in the fields here that, for me, honestly, because both Papua New Guinea and rugby union, and I can see there's so much potential here. That sort of stuff really on the inside, like hits home. It makes me feel really disappointed. And I really think it comes down again to discipline. And it just things like that are erupt on the field, and especially when you've got coaches and spectators and stuff like that should be setting a good example. And I'm glad that things are looking better in that avenue. But even with the players, once again, it shows. It shows discipline, and it shows someone's attitude towards their life, towards their morals, their values, and that goes a long way in your training as well. So, I think there's absolutely no room for it. The refs and all those people, I guess, are trying to do the best job, and the players on the field are trying to do their best job, and that's where it should be left. I mean, you don't see, you know how strict now with all the professional codes, how incidents like that are dealt with, I guess.
And it's back on again, the 2014 SP Sports Awards Team of the Year. Text Barramundi, Amoa or Pepes to 1630 and give one of these teams the coveted SP Sports Award Team of the Year.
I'll pick you up.
Welcome back. A team from the Australian Federal Police, in partnership with the Royal PNG Constabulary, have been carrying out an awareness program to encourage young children to steer away from peer pressure and trouble. The two forces combined made time available to assist students and promote the importance of getting an education and utilizing that to one's utmost potential.
With the aim of implementing the community policing program, building and restoring the confidence of the police amongst the society, and changing the mindset of the next generation of Papua New Guineans, a team from the Australian Federal Police, in partnership with the Royal PNG Constabulary, are carrying out an awareness program for schools in Port Moresby. Speaking on issues of domestic violence, drug and alcohol abuse, the juvenile system, human rights, but most importantly, getting an education and pursuing a long-term goal in life. All boys school, De La Salle Secondary, was one of the 5 schools that welcomed the visitors. Former student Sergeant Martin was also part of the team that spoke to the De La Salle students.
We feel that this school fight is not good for our young students. Therefore, with the assistance of our counterparts from Australian Federal Police, they are assisting us to visit all schools and talk about this problem. You get involved in these fights with other schools. These are like, if you get arrested or you start something serious and you come confrontation with police and you are charged, you are likely to lose your privilege of getting educated. And at the same time, if you are charged, your criminal records will be recorded in our criminal record system at police headquarters. In future, when you want to take a job or when you go for further studies, these people will ask you to go and get your police clearance before we can accept you to any training institutions or universities or other jobs that you want to take in future. So when you go and get your police clearance from police will find that you have all these records. So they will give you a report where that is not good for you.
Constable Anna Wills of the juvenile arm at the Baroka Police Station spoke on what the juvenile system is, the seriousness and difference of offences committed and the avenues available to seek further advice if caught in unfavourable situations, but most of all, encourage students to steer clear of trouble.
When we talk about juvenile, when they come in conflict with the law, the two crimes that you commit, serious and what? Less. Give me one serious. You start killing money, rape, yeah? Now less serious? Yeah, that's the main one. And you what? You try and work the muscle now.
Chief Sergeant Petrina Dickens of the Domestic Violence Unit at Gordon's also spoke to the young men on domestic violence.
Now, if you take your girlfriend, you must always remember that she comes from a family. She is a girl that is very innocent. She's got a future ahead of her, and she's journeying the pathway. So well as you as young, energetic, you've got a future to live. Now, do you think that it is right for you to murder her and to rape her? Now, her family have spent so much on her to raise her up. She did not hurt you in one way. She's committed no offense on you. And why should you hurt her? Now, if it is happening among us, it must stop. It might happen to your sister, to your cousin sister tomorrow, and that must stop.
The highlight of the afternoon was a showcase by Sergeant Ian Wilhelm, a recent bronze medalist at the PNG Bodybuilding Championships in Goroka, who spoke to the young men on steering away from trouble and encouraged them to utilize their ability either academically or in sports to their full potential.
Where's all the rugby league players? Put your hands up if you play rugby league. Where's all the netball players? Who plays netball? Must be netball players, eh? Okay, so the police officers here have had a talk to you today, staying out of trouble, no fighting. Anyone here been involved in any fights? I know you're not going to put your hand up now. But anyway, you got to know that if you want to fight, smoke marijuana, drink, you're going to get nowhere in life.
Students were then given the opportunity to ask questions, a daunting task which was endured by the officers. The team hopes to visit more schools by next month and motivate students in creating pathways for themselves.
We head out for our final break for the night. Stay tuned as we wrap up the show with our weekend draws.
Everybody get up.
Before we wrap up the show, we caught up with a former Kurakum determined to make the squad again this year, Taiva Lavai. What's your name?
My name is Taiva Lavai.
How old are you?
This year I'll be turning 21st in September.
Okay, I hear you still go to school, right?
Yeah, I attend Borili Vocational.
What are you studying at the moment?
I'm taking up electrical, which is 2 years, and this year is my first year.
So you play AFL. When did you start playing AFL?
I played AFL since 2008, and I represent the PNG under 16 curriculums in 2010, and in 2011 I represent the World Cup, which is PNG Flames on 2011. Yeah.
So you said that you have a role model in your life, and that's your big brother?
Yeah, my big brother, John James, is my big role model, and he's my fan also.
Would you say that you started playing because of him?
Yes, of course. He always encourages me to play footy, which is AFL, and I love playing AFL since 2008.
Jeremy asked if the girls' match, the open women's match, is it that tough as the men's as well?
I would say almost, but not really, because the girls they don't play as rough as the boys. The girls they sometimes fight and do the girlish stuff in the field, but maybe later, some years, they will be better than the boys.
You would like to see the match be a bit tougher than it is?
Yes, of course.
Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? Would you still want to be playing AFL?
Of course, I would love to play AFL till my dying day.
So you would love to, when you're done playing, would you like to do coaching roles and some official roles, still being involved in AFL?
Yeah, I would love to umpire the games and do the boundary umpire and teach the young coming generations.
Do you have any messages for any young girls taking up AFL?
My message to you all is that AFL is a great game. Once you learn how to play the footy AFL, you won't leave the sporting code, which is AFL, and it's a good game. So I encourage ladies out there to play AFL football.
We've come to the end of another show. A reminder that if you'd like us to feature your sports story, please shoot us an email at emtv.com.pg, visit our Facebook page, or if you're in Port Moresby, drop by to second floor Garden City and ask for our awesome sports team, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Now let's take a look at our weekend draws.
We start off with basketball, and in Garahu, Court 1, Backstreet take on Magani, Stones go up against Borderline Rats, and Hikari Mates take on the Fountain Brothers. While for the women, Backstreet go up against the Bombers, Fountain Sisters take on Mixed Mates, and Borderline Rats go up against Condo East. To darts at the Elcom Club, Porolak and Tyrox kick off the weekend, while Seal 6 take on the Wizards to finish off the Black Division on Saturday. In the Blue Division, Last Bets go up against Sun Come Up 2, Zulu 2 take on Cornet Darts 2, Moonbeam go up against Still OK, and Golden Nut Nuts take on Black Robes. Hockey will be big at the Ella Murray International School, with the men's B division kicking off Wanderers versus the Seagulls, Sunam versus Bismarck. And in the afternoon, Wanderers take on Seagulls, while for the women's division, Rapatona go up against the Mavericks at 5:15 p.m. To netball, and the Premier Division will see Snacks Mermaids take on Esco Telstars at 10:30, followed by GlobalCon Arama Coast and Raukele at the midday match. CPL Rebels go up against Vepunama at 1:30, and the big game in the afternoon will be between Monia Paramana and Digital Sparrows. In Capital Rugby Union, a combined Vikings outfit take on University at 2 o'clock, while Nova and Defence, alongside Harlequins and the Southern Chiefs, round off the Saturday afternoon action. On Sunday, Wanderers take on Brothers, and Spartans go up against the Juggernauts. And finally, in the National Soccer League, all matches held up in Leh. At 12:30 we'll see Leh FC take on Oro, and the big one with Hekari United going up against Gigira Laitepo Morobe FC at 3 p.m. at the SIK in Leh.
We'll be out and about on the weekend, and we hope to drop by at your weekend hotspot to catch all the sporting action. Until next Thursday, play hard, play safe, and good night PNG.